G'day guys, thanks for watching as always. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I've been in contact with my good friend from Japan, Suzuki-san. He's been in the exciting process of developing some GT lures, and he's asked me to do a custom paint job on one of the lure blanks. Now I'll tell you a little bit about the lures. He's the lure maker that I've taught you about in previous videos as well. He makes swim baits for bass, makes smaller stick baits for smaller saltwater game fish, Japanese sea bass, I think, and now also GT lures. And he actually wants to go public with these products. He's only sold them to a limited amount of people in Japan before, but he will put these on the market, which is quite exciting for him, and I'm quite happy to be a part of this because I'll be getting a couple of free lures if I make some more custom paint jobs for him. But either way, I think they'll be available within the next half year, fingers crossed. So when exactly I'm not sure, but if you are interested, keep an eye out. So anyway, he sent me one of the lure blanks. This is a 220 gram popper with the epoxy coat on that I put on. But they'll have to be sanded down a little bit, and then they'll put a new coat on. So I think it will be sitting around 220 grams. I've done a custom paint job on it, which you'll see in a little bit. But anyway, I'll talk a little bit about the features of the lures, because GT lures are quite a particular type of lure. You know, they have to be more durable than any other lure on the market. So they have to be incredibly strong. On top of that, a good GT lure is well balanced. So you can cast it far, but it swims great too. In the popper's case, pops great, dives under and rises up with the tail down. And I think another key aspect of a good GT lure, that's the marketing and the selling aspect, is that they have to look pretty good. If you look at the most popular GT lures, like the Carpenter range, I think they're called the Sea Frogs, the Gammas, the Bluefish, and then you got the Hammerheads with the I cups and the E cups, and Craftbait GT3. Those are all very, very popular GT lures. They're all works of art. So to be producing a successful GT lure, I think you have to also look into how you design the lure for catching the fisherman, not just the fish. So anyway, hopefully that custom paint job will work. Obviously it won't have too much effect on the fish, but it's nice to have it in your tackle box or maybe even on your wall after you retire it. Now, talking about retiring your GT lures, retiring your lures does happen quite a lot in GT fishing. The fishing is quite brutal. The fish are very powerful. They've got jaws that have no mercy for anything that comes near them. And so the avid GT fisherman quite often has a wall in their house dedicated to all the retired lures. Now, that happens when either the lure breaks, obviously, or when a leak happens. And a leak can happen if either the hook jams into the side, penetrates the lure, or if a toothy critter comes along like a barracuda or a big king mackerel, destroys it, totals it. Now, for that reason, I tend to lean towards wooden lures because it's a bit harder to make them leak. With one or two exceptions, all the plastic lures on the GT fishing market have a hollow body or are filled up with foam on the inside. If you have a hook jam in the side or a fish tooth penetrates the side, it's over for that lure. So that's why I kind of lean towards wooden lures, because they're solid all the way through. They will leak if the scratch or bite makes it through the epoxy or urethane coat, but it takes a lot longer for those wooden lures to be completely totaled. You can still use them whenever they've got a gap or something. I think there's only one brand that actually creates solid plastic or resin lures, and they're probably also the most durable, and I think that is the reason why these are also made out of solid resin. So they'll last very, very long. They're a through-wire system, like all good GT lures are. Very, very durable. So I think they'll have a double or triple urethane or epoxy coat, so the paint job will last a long time too. And yeah, very good lures, very exciting. I don't know too much for the rest about them yet, but I'm sure that will all unveil in the next couple of months. So if you are interested in buying these lures, do stay tuned. They obviously won't be just making custom paint jobs. They will also be releasing some standard ones, but if they're going to be sold to shops or whatever, I have no idea. So we'll probably let you know on this channel. So anyway, we've done a pool test. I've tested them out in the pool to see how they swim, how they bloop, what noise they produce, and well, we'll go to that right now.
Now, first of all, I've weighted this lure with some leftover coat hangers that I've cut up and hung around the hook hangers of the lure. The reason why I did this is because I don't want to damage the lure with the hook points, but I have weighed out the exact amount that the hooks and split rings would weigh. The benefit of this lure as well is that it can both carry singles as well as trebles. It's heavy enough to carry singles and still stay balanced very well, and it has enough flotation for big treble hooks on there as well, so that's perfect. As you can see, textbook GT popper. Sits tail down with the head just out of the water, and with the slightest movement of the rod tip I can make it dive under. You will need to give it a little bit of a pull obviously to get it to bloop properly, but no more than any other popper. Doesn't make the biggest splash on the surface, but it pushes a lot of water on the water and leaves a nice bubble trail. Very deep bloop as well. I can't pick it up too much in the video, but when I was standing on the pool side, it resonated throughout the whole pool. So I'm confident this thing will catch some big fish for sure. Head up, tail down. Perfect. Now let's take into consideration that this pool is obviously not salt water, so it will be a bit more buoyant in the salt. However, I haven't attached a split ring and a swivel to the nose, and I'm not using heavy fluorocarbon leader either, so that might make all the difference.
Well, either way, onto the paint job that I did. I was asked to do it because I do like to be a little bit artistic with my fishing lures every now and then. I drew this little Daruma doll on the bent stick bait. You could watch that in the other video. I like to draw and paint as well, whether that's about sport fishing or not. Doesn't really matter too much to me. So, but either way, it was a great opportunity for me to combine both of my passions. And well, here's a section of the video where I'll show you how I make the paint job. Enjoy.
So, anyways, we're starting off with the lure blank here. It's got a base white coat onto the urethane body. Fits on there nicely. I've made a bit of a rough sketch of what I wanted to do. Suzuki-san asked if I could do some Japanese artwork on there. Irizumi or Horimono is a Japanese style of art that's often used in tattoos. I've just sketched a Hanya mask, some cherry blossoms, and a Japanese style snake in the background. It's fairly random, but looks pretty cool. Now I'm just using a little marker here with a fine liner tip to outline where the drawing is going to be. It helps with the shading as well. After this we'll be colouring it with just spray paint, and then we'll be doing some highlighting before it goes into the epoxy. Now I have to speed it up a little bit because this is quite a long process of drawing. You'll see in a bit with the scales of the snake. It takes quite some time. But, you know, have to make some extra effort to make things look pretty, I guess, so. There, the cherry blossoms. Just did some falling leaves there as well. Oh well. Bit of free ending every now and then isn't too bad. Here I'm starting on the snake, and this is where the really tedious process started because it's got a lot of small scales. And it's not a bad idea to take a break every now and then because it can take quite some time. Now I've cut a little bit of out of the video because it's taken so long, but here I'm finishing it all up. Just finishing up the scale pattern there. Sweet, that's all done. Just finishing up the outlines there. Couple of flames. Couple more leaves and we're done. Done deal. Now this is after it's come out of the color paint. Here I'm just highlighting the areas that need to be highlighted. There you go, that's how it looks with the highlighter on it. Got the outline, the shading, the color and outer highlights. Making sure it's all dry. And then she's all finished up, ready to go into the epoxy. Well worth the effort, very happy with the outcome. Sad to see you leave though. That's very unfortunate. Now, I had to wait to upload this video for a picture to come out of Japan when it's been finished up with the eyes on it and all the epoxy coating, but here it is. Absolute ripper of a popper. I don't think I would throw this at a fish at all. It'd just be sitting on my wall. Retire it as soon as I order it. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's something different than what you usually do. If you're interested in these poppers, again, just stay tuned on this channel. Keep your eyes glued on here and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers.